I'm Hari Krishnan. This is the 58th video towards the Save Soil movement by Sadhguru and the Isha Foundation. Have you heard about the Trojan War, the city of Troy? Let me give you a picture of what happened there. And pardon me for historical inaccuracies. The city of Troy was so prosperous, and it is also said that the walls and the forts of the city of Troy was built by Apollo and Poseidon themselves. And Apollo and Poseidon are Greek gods themselves. As the city of Troy was so prosperous, many kings wanted to capture that city. And one among them was Agamemnon, a Greek king. And Achilles, if you know him, the mythical warrior, the demigod, he was a warrior in Agamemnon's army. And it is said that no one can stop Achilles, not even an army can stop Achilles. To enter the city of Troy, they had to approach it from the sea. And Agamemnon, with his vast and strong navy, landed on the shores of the city of Troy. And yes, they did warn the rulers of the city of Troy to surrender, but they did not. And that's when the war started. It was a very long war which lasted for years. But the Greeks could not bring down the walls of the city of Troy and the army of the Trojan warriors. And a lot of interesting political turns happened during this period. But the exhausted Greek army had to come up with some other trickery, because they had realized by that time that they cannot beat the Trojan army with mere strength. But they had to come up with a different strategy. And that's when they devised the Trojan horse, a huge horse-like figure made from the wood of their ships, and they left it on the beach of Troy. And since there were no attacks from the Greek army for a couple of days, the Trojan scouts found that there were no Greek ships or vessels near the beach. But they could only find this horse-like figure, and they could also see some corpses that were infected by some disease. So the Trojan advisors advised the king, saying that this is a curse from Apollo himself, because the Greeks who invaded, they also destroyed the temples of Apollo. And they assumed that it's a curse from Apollo himself. And they made the mistake of pulling the Trojan horse, or that horse-like figure, into their forts, even though some of the ministers advised against it and asked the king to burn it in the beach itself. But yes, they got it into their forts. And it was a night of celebration. The citizens of Troy danced around this horse-like figure. They thought that the war has ended finally. And this Trojan horse, the big horse-like figure, was a symbol of repentance by the Greek army. But unfortunately, it was not. The horse-like figure made of wood had Achilles as well as many of the Greek warriors in them. And when the city of Troy fell asleep after the big celebration, these warriors came out of the horse and they just opened the fort gates. And that led to the fall of the city of Troy. And I think by this time you would have guessed why am I saying this. Yes, soil. Because now we know the story of the Trojan War, or the Trojan horse. This Trojan horse today is very analogous to the crime we are committing against soil. And we are coming to be very well aware of the problems we are creating for soil, and in turn for ourselves. And this myth, be it true or not, has given us some great wisdom. And let's make use of it. Because even when we know that we are doing something wrong, let's not continue doing it. Because if we continue doing it, we could face the fate of the city of Troy. Humanity can fall. So let's not make it happen. Let's save soil. Namaste.